All right, we are here with Meredith with GHD, and take it away, Meredith.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Meredith Kirkland, and I am the Senior National Education Manager for GHD, or Good Hair Day. And I am so thankful to Salon Republic for this opportunity to share Good Hair Day with all of you. I have quite a jam-packed session coming up for all of you. We're going to talk about our latest breakthrough innovation, Duet Style. We're going to talk about our stylers. I'm going to give you some really amazing techniques that you can use behind the chair. I'm going to take you through our curve range, our dryers, a little bit of everything over the next few minutes. So if you're not familiar with GHD, we started back in 2001, and we started with hairstylists. Hairstylists teamed up with scientists to put a revolutionary tool into the hands of British stylists. And we've been celebrating Good Hair Days ever since. As a brand, we've won Allure's Best of Beauty 11 times. And what's so unique about our brand is that every tool in our portfolio that is designed to work on dry hair, and I say dry for a reason that you will understand in just a few minutes, works at one perfect styling temperature of 365 degrees. Now, I could tell you all about why 365, but I don't know about you. As a stylist myself, I am a very, very visual person. So I thought instead of telling you, let me show you. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about all of our tools. And I really wanted to be able to show you why 365 in a very, very visual way. So I'm working with my Platinum Plus styler that we're going to dive into a little bit deeper in a few minutes. And then I have another tool that is set to a higher temperature. This tool is set to 450 degrees. So I want to show you what happens when we work at 365 with our GHD tools versus a tool at 450. I am going to hold these two tools for 30 seconds. Now I know as stylists, we're not holding our tools for 30 seconds, but we don't know what our guests are doing from the comfort of their own home. So being able to see this visual, I think is very, very powerful because it shows you why working at 365 is that perfect safe temperature, while working at the higher heat can really cause hair damage that cannot be reversed. Whenever we work at 365, it is that perfect sweet spot. It's that perfect in between that's going to give us not only the longest lasting results, but more importantly than that, keep hair its absolute healthiest. Now, I think that visual itself is pretty powerful to show you what happens when we work at too high of a temperature. We can also cause damage when we work at too low of a temperature, which is something I don't feel like I ever learned in beauty school. I don't know about the rest of you. But when we work with tools that are set to too low of a heat, we run the risk of going over that same section multiple times, and we can create mechanical damage. Then, when we work at too high of a heat, that's when we begin damaging the internal structure of the hair strand. So 365 is that perfect sweet spot, that perfect in between. A great way for you to remember that every GHD tool works at 365 is, remember, we're Good Hair Day and there's 365 days in the year. 365 will give you the longest lasting results, but more importantly than that, keep hair its absolute healthiest. So we've talked about why 365. I think my girl here is probably pretty mad at me, so I'm going to set her over to the side. And now I want to introduce you to our latest breakthrough innovation, which is GHD Duet Style. This tool is incredible. I'm going to hold it nice and close to the camera in just a minute to give you a little tour. But before I do, I want to share a little more about what this is. So this tool has been 9 years in development at our lab in Cambridge. With this tool, we have the ability to take hair from wet to styled with no heat damage. I know that sounds kind of shocking, and most of the time when you say that, people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. They see a tool shaped like this, they hear that it is for wet hair, and I think you automatically have those flashbacks and you think of steam and sizzle. GHD Duet Style will do none of those, and you can take hair from wet to beautifully styled without any heat damage. It also has a second mode called Shine Shot that I'm going to show you in just a moment. So let me get my Duet Style model over here, and I want to show you the tool in action. This tool is incredible for any of your guests that are looking for beautiful, long-lasting results. The results will last up to 48 hours. You get beautiful, beautiful shine, and you even get a 42% increase in humidity resistance. So as you can see, my beautiful model here, this is her hair naturally air dried. I shampooed and conditioned, dressed her out with a wide tooth comb, and just let it air dry. On this side here, you can see that beautiful light reflection. This is the drying mode only of Duet Style. So I am going to do a quick little demonstration for you. But before I do, I'm going to hold the tool nice and close so I can give you a little tour of what's going on in the tool. So this tool is the first tool globally to ever combine actively heated plates and air. So these plates, when we are in the drying mode, are working at a low, safe temperature for damp hair. I know I showed you why 365, and 365 is the perfect temperature when we're speaking to dry hair only. So when the hair is wet and when we have the airflow going in our Duet Style, the plates are working at a low, safe temperature for damp hair. Just inside these plates, you'll see this honeycomb. And right underneath that honeycomb, there is some real magic happening. The volume of the air, the velocity of the air, the temperature of the air are constantly being monitored. So it stays perfect from the base of the tool all the way to the end. And because we're GHD, we like to think of everything. Here on the outside, these are root drying vents. They are recycling the air from inside and it's exiting at a low, comfortable temperature so that you can dry your roots as you dry the rest of the strand. So now let me turn it on and I will show you exactly how to use GHD Duet Style. So to turn it on, it's as simple as the flip of a switch. In just a moment, you will hear that airflow begin. I am going to slide my beautiful model back just a bit so that I can reach her just a little bit better. And I hope that you can tell that her hair is damp. For Duet Style, your best starting point is towel dried hair. You do not need to pre-dry or prep dry the hair, but towel dried hair is where you want to begin. To use Duet Style, there are a couple things to keep in mind. The first is we're going to pause at the root for 2 to 3 seconds because this is how we allow those root drying vents to do their job. Then we're going to glide down the strand at a slow and steady pace. As we glide, you can see that hair is beautifully dried and getting shinier and shinier by the moment. I also want you to notice there is no steam, there is no sizzle, just beautifully shiny, healthy hair with no heat damage. The way that Duet Style is drying the hair is it focuses on only drying the unbound moisture, so the moisture that's sitting on the outside of the hair strand, while retaining all of the internal or the bound moisture within the strand. This is what allows us to have those beautiful results, that humidity resistance, and really gorgeous salon quality hair, whether we are the stylist using this on our guests or we're recommending Duet Style for our guests to take home themselves. So once we have dried all of the hair, that's when we activate Shine Shot mode. To go into Shine Shot mode, you're simply going to press and hold this button here, and you saw that the light pulsated. You'll hear the motor stop. So now the airflow has stopped and my plates are increasing to that optimum temperature for dry hair, which is 365 degrees. It just gave me the signature GHD chime, letting me know that it was ready. And now I essentially have a double-plated GHD styler that I can use just as I would a traditional styler. So if I am looking for beautiful, sleek, shiny hair, I can go in with Shine Shot mode for 2 times more shine, and you can see those beautiful results. But it doesn't stop there. It is a true multi-styler. Whenever I want to create a big, beautiful, bouncy curl, I have this double-plated styler that I can do that with. So to curl with Duet Style, I can go in, just do one rotation and pull out and away from the head, and I will be able to achieve a beautiful, big, bouncy curl. Duet Style, again, was over 9 years in development. It is the first tool globally to ever combine these actively heated plates and air. With this tool, we have the ability to take hair from wet to beautifully styled with no heat damage. You can also create multiple styles on all hair types. It is the perfect tool for any guest that is looking for a beautiful, long-lasting result, someone that wants that kind of glass-like shiny hair. This is going to be your go-to behind the chair. So now, after Duet Style, I think we should talk a little bit about GHD stylers. I am going to check the chat really quickly to see if anyone has asked any questions. I do have one of my team members here with me monitoring the chat. His name is Gino, and he is our field education manager. So if there's a question that I don't get to while I'm styling, please know Gino will take care of you and he will answer the questions for you. So I am going to move on to my next model here. And I want to show you some advanced styler techniques, but I also want to show you some techniques that you can teach to your guests. So if they're taking a GHD tool home with them, it's a really great way to be able to help them create beautiful styles at home and really be able to protect that hair that you've just spent so much time working on with your color, and know that they are going to come back with beautiful, gorgeous hair, and they'll be able to rock that beautiful look, and it will be styled really nicely in between their services. So the tool that I'm going to be using is my Platinum Plus styler. So this tool comes in white and it comes in black. It is our ultimate smart styler. So what do we mean when we say ultimate smart styler? Platinum Plus has a technology called ultrazone. And with ultrazone technology, these plates are being monitored 250 times every single second. What that means is your hair gets the same amount of heat all the way from the base to the end. So you get beautiful, consistent results. With Platinum Plus, you also get twice the color protection, which myself as a colorist, I absolutely love, which is why I always recommend this tool for my guests to purchase and take home as well. You will also get 75% more shine. And who does not want beautiful, shiny, healthy hair? So I'm going to start with a technique that I think is a great technique to be able to share with your guests to show them how to style their hair at home. But it's also a really great technique because it is a technique that we use behind the chair all the time. So with GHD, we have something called styling fundamentals, and I love this. I know as a hairstylist, we love our fundamentals. You know, when we think of our color, we think of the color wheel. When we think of cutting, we think of elevation and over direction. We have the exact same thing when it comes to using hair tools. So a couple of those fundamentals are your direction, so the direction in which we are holding the tool, and another is your rotation. And one more is going to be form versus texture. So I'm going to give you a visual representation of all three. So on this side of the head, I am doing something called a push down curl. This is allowing me to get a very elongated shape with my curl. And I'm going to be using texture, meaning I'm going to alternate the direction of each curl. And when I do, the crest of those curls are going to push against one another, creating more airiness and texture within my look. So So let me take my section down here. I'm going to be working in horizontal sections, working my way up the back of the head. As you can see, I have my other side already sectioned off here with my diagonal section, so it may look a little funny, but I promise there is a reason for that. So for the classic push down curl, you can think of this as a great way to get that beautiful beachy wave, which we all love and we all like to replicate, but it's also a great technique to teach to your guests so that they can go home and create a beautiful wave or shape in their hair. So for this technique, I am going to be holding my tool vertically. The more vertically I hold the tool, the more elongated my curl is going to be. For my rotation, I'm going to do a 180-degree rotation, meaning I am just turning the styler over once, and then I am pushing down toward the ground to really give me that beautiful elongated shape to my curl. Now, because I want texture within this look, I'm going to alternate the direction. So if you notice with the first one, I curled over. With this one, I am going to turn back toward me, and once again, exact same technique. I want you to notice that I am touching the entire length of the tool while I am curling. With GHD tools, they don't get too hot to touch, which I absolutely love because I feel like it gives me more mobility whenever I am using this tool behind the chair. I'm going to continue this technique and continue alternating my curls as I work my way around, pushing down toward the ground, and you can watch those curls just bounce right up. We'll do one last curl here, and then we will dress these out. So this is the perfect kind of beach-inspired wave. I love this for any of my guests that really want that kind of effortless, I didn't try too hard sort of look, but it's something that's really easy, once again, to teach your guests to do on their own hair from home. The best way to teach them is to tell them always have the nose of the tool pointed down, do one rotation, and push down toward the floor. It's very simple. I feel like a lot of times with curling techniques, with a styler especially, which if you didn't know, we call our flat iron stylers because they're made to do more than just flat iron your hair. But with stylers especially, I feel like a lot of curling techniques can make it feel a little out of reach for our guests. And something like this is so simple and so easy to do, and something that they will definitely be able to recreate, and they'll appreciate the fact that you taught them something new and a way to style their hair. So I have all my curls done. You can see here how by alternating those directions, the crest of every curl is pushing right into the one next to it. What that does is creates that beautiful texture within my look. So to dress this out, I am simply going to use a wide tooth comb. You can see that airiness and that bounce start to form. And I have a beautiful beach-inspired wave, which is something that I feel like everyone loves to wear from time to time. Now, we started with a simple technique, but I feel like we need to elevate it a little bit. So I want to share with you guys a wave called a V wave. This is probably one of my all-time favorite waves to create behind the chair. I'm just going to get my section here out of the way so that way I can show you how to create this curl. This is something I feel like a lot of you will use on a daily basis, and it is so gorgeous. So this is what your final V-wave will look like. You've got that kind of glam inspired finish to this. You can see that gorgeous shine, which the Platinum Plus styler left me with. This hair is healthy and shiny and beautiful. And this looks like something that would have taken so much time. You would think you'd have to go in and curl and set and brush and brush and brush, which we have all done whenever we have set hair for any sort of formal event. This wave is so simple, but the technique, it really does provide a beautiful elevated look that I think you and your guests will all enjoy. So for the front section, I worked in diagonal sections all the way back, and I'm going to continue that exact same thing here on the side. So I'm going to do a couple of these curls for you so that you can see exactly how to create them. So to create a V-wave, once again, my section is diagonal. I'm going to go in, I'm going to do a 180-degree rotation, and then I'm going to create a V shape with the tail or the ends of the hair. Now I'm gliding out at a slight diagonal until I reach the ends. And look at that beautiful curl that just popped right up. I'm going to do that exact same thing on my next section, curling in the same direction instead of alternating like I did with my push down curls. I'm doing everything in the same direction with these curls because what that does is it creates form within my look. Think of form as everything flowing together. When it all flows together, all the crests flow together, and it gives you that beautiful, soft, kind of glam-inspired result. Let's do one more section here, still following that exact same diagonal section, working my way up all the way into the crown. I prepped my model here with Bodyguard before I started curling her hair. Bodyguard is our heat protect spray. This is the perfect extra layer of protection between your hair and any tool that you are using. And I use this on every single curl, every single smooth look, every single time I'm using a tool. I am using a heat protection product, whether it be Bodyguard or one of the other products within our portfolio, which I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes. So we're going to continue once again, going in at a diagonal, one rotation over and creating that V shape. That's why it's called a V wave, with the ends of the hair and gliding all the way down until those beautiful curls pop right up. I hope that it comes across on the screen just how silky and shiny this hair becomes after I have styled it with my Platinum Plus styler. And my last curl there. Now I'm going to allow these to cool for just a moment before I dress them out. As far as dressing out the hair, it is completely up to you. I tend to either use a paddle brush or a wide tooth comb or our oval dressing brush, really just depending on the end result that I am going for. So now I made sure these are cool to the touch, and I am simply going to brush down until all these waves form together and I have this beautiful, glamorous look that looks like it took me a lot of time, but as you just saw, it took almost no time at all, and I have a beautiful finish that would be great just for day to day, but also for any sort of formal event or any sort of elevated styling that you are looking to achieve. I want to show you one other styler before I move into our Helios dryer and then our curve range, which is our curling irons and wands. So the other styler I want to share with you is our Max styler. So Max is our wide plate styler. I have it right here. I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison with Platinum Plus, just so you can have a nice visual of the size difference. Max is 2 inches wide. So if you have a guest with long hair, thick hair, curly hair, someone that's looking to save some time while using a styler, Max is definitely going to be your go-to. It features a technology called dual zone, which is monitoring these plates 200 times a second to keep it perfect and consistent at 365 degrees. I love Max if I am going for just a beautiful, sleek, straight look on someone with long, thicker, curly hair. But I also love Max if I'm looking to curl with my styler, but I want a bigger, bouncier result. Because of the wider surface area of these plates, I'm able to achieve that bigger, bouncier result with my Max styler. So let me see here if we have any questions so far. I hope We are doing so good. If we have any questions, perfect, awesome. And Gino put our social handles into the chat. We would love to see the looks that you create with GHD tools. Please tag our GHD North America pages on Instagram, GHD_North America, and on TikTok, GHD_USA. So let's talk about dryers, and I want to talk about Helios. So I'm not going to turn on the dryer because nobody wants to listen to a dryer going. We did have Duet Style, but it is nice and quiet. But I'm not going to turn on my Helios, but I do want to tell you a little bit about what's going on inside this incredible tool. So Helios has a technology called Aero Precise, and that's made up of 4 parts: your grill, impeller, stator vanes, and nozzle. You never have to repeat those, I promise. I'm going to tell you exactly what they do. So whenever air is taken into anything, whenever it is sucked in, it's going to come in a turbulent sort of swirling motion. When the air comes in through the grill, the impeller is going to lower the sound level. So this will give you a nice quiet blow dry so you can hear your guest whenever you are having a conversation with them behind the chair. So the impeller will lower your sound level, and then the stator vanes, which are right inside here, if I were to take my tool apart and show you, the stator vanes are going to convert all of that turbulent air, all of that swirling air into a direct forward airflow. Why is that so important? The smoother the air, the smoother the results that we're going to be able to achieve. And that's what we all want. Whenever we are giving someone a gorgeous blowout, or we're recommending a tool for them to purchase to take home to give themselves a gorgeous blowout, we want that air to come out in that perfect stream because it's going to give you that gorgeous polished cuticle on the hair strand and really provide a ton of shine. The last part of the tool is going to be your nozzle. This takes that air and just tailors it down to a perfect stream on the outside so that you're able to get a beautiful, shiny blowout. In fact, whenever the air exits the end of this tool, it's traveling at almost 75 miles per hour. So not only is it beautiful and shiny, it's also nice and fast, which we all love. We love to be able to blow out hair a little faster, but know that we're going to be able to get that quality result. And your Helios dryer will definitely be able to give that to you. So next up, I want to talk to you about our curve range. So our curve range is what we call our range of curling irons and wands. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 of them first. I have my hands full here with all of these curling irons and wands. First up is your soft curl iron and your classic curl iron. These are your traditional tong irons. I used soft curl on my hair today, so I didn't feel like I needed to do a demonstration for you. Soft curl's 1.25 inches and your classic curl is 1 inch. Both of these feature ultrazone technology, which is that same technology we talked about with the Platinum Plus styler, and have a beautiful, consistent result because the barrel never changes temperature. It's always at that perfect temp of 365 degrees. We also have a couple wands. You have a tapered barreled wand, but then you also have the classic wave wand. And I really wanted to highlight this one because of the unique shape. As you can see, it is shaped in an oval. This will give you a gorgeous soft wave. It is very easy to use. Every one of our curling irons and wands has a cool tip on the end. I don't know about you, but I burned myself way too many times on curling irons. So it's nice to have this cool tip to provide a little bit of stability. And these 2 wands also feature the ultrazone technology. So they're set to that perfect temperature of 365 with a consistent barrel temperature the entire time you are using it. Now, I'm not going to get through curve without giving you a demonstration. And so I want to show you the newest addition to our curve family, which is our thin wand. Now, this wand is only a 1/2 inch wide, but it's over 6 inches long. In fact, if I hold it side by side to my soft curl iron, you can see the difference in length. This is 38% longer than the soft curl iron. It heats up in only 30 seconds. The other wands and irons heat up in 25 seconds. So in only 30 seconds, I am going to be able to achieve beautiful results. With this tool, you're able to achieve tight curls in 3 seconds, meaning you only have to wrap the hair around the barrel and hold it for 3 seconds, release it, and those curls will last for up to 24 hours. So when I'm doing any sort of curling, I always like to power couple my curve range with Curly Ever After. Curly Ever After is a curl extending curl hold spray. There's no stickiness. It doesn't feel like hairspray at all. It also contains heat protection. So this is going to provide that invisible barrier between the hair and the tool that you are using. But with Curly Ever After, you're going to double the longevity of your curls, meaning you're going to get up to 24-hour curl hold with the 4 members of the curve range that I just showed you. And with Thin Wand, you'll get up to 48-hour curl hold. I have already prepped her. And so now let me show you exactly how to use Thin Wand in a couple different ways. I feel like when you see a wand that is 1/2 inch wide and you look or you visualize what you think the results would be, I think most people probably think of tight curls like this, which it obviously can do, and it can do it very, very well. I'm going to show you how to create these tight curls, and I'm going to include a fun little stylist tip for you to really be able to replicate a natural looking curl. Speaking of natural curls, your Thin Wand is a great tool for any of your guests that have naturally curly hair. If you have naturally curly hair, you know we don't always wake up with the same curls twice. So to be able to replicate that natural curl pattern, you can go in and just define a few pieces after you diffuse their hair, but they could take this tool home and be able to define a few pieces on mornings when it doesn't wake up laying exactly the way we wanted it to. It's also great for those of us with straight hair that want the look of naturally curly hair, but we want it in a very safe way because remember, this tool is working at that optimum temperature of 365 degrees. So I'm going to do a few curls for you here, and what I wanted to show you, kind of my little stylist tip, I want you to notice as I go in, I'm going to alternate placing the tool below the section and above the section. However, my technique is going to stay exactly the same. So for this one, I am placing the tool above the section. I wrap all the way down, and you would think this would take such a long time because the tool is so small, but because you can curl in only 3 seconds, it's way faster than I think you ever expected. So on my next curl here, I am going to place the tool below the section. And the reason that I'm alternating where I place the tool is because this is replicating the way that hair naturally grows out of the head. Once we dress this out, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment, we're going to have a very natural looking curl pattern because we'll have places at the root that are lifted, places that are a little tighter to the root, almost taking us back to beauty school when we were thinking on base and off base. This is going to give us more of that natural looking finish by alternating the placement of our tool. So with this curl, I am going to place the tool on top. As you can see, I am holding my tool horizontally, and I am doing a slight twist to my wrist as I work my way down the strand. I am only holding for 3 seconds, and then I release, and I'm able to achieve these beautiful, beautiful curls. So last curl here, I place the tool under, work my way all the way down, hold for 3 seconds, and release. How gorgeous and shiny are those curls? This is one of my all-time favorite tools, and this is just the beginning of what you can do with it. So once you have curled all of the hair, to dress out these sort of natural looking curls, we recommend separating them into 2s and 3s. And what I mean by that is I have my curl here. For this one, I'm going to separate it into 2 pieces. And now for the next one, I'm going to separate it into 3. This is just going to open up those curls and really provide that big bouncy look that I am going for. I'm going to continue dressing these out, separating that in two. And last one here, I am going to separate this one in two as well. Perfect. So I'm sure you can imagine where you would use this tool behind the chair. Anyone with curly hair, anyone looking for the look of naturally curly hair without the commitment of a perm, this is a great way to achieve that. I obviously have a lot of hair, and I love whenever I style all of my hair with thin wand. It just gets huge, and sometimes it's fun to rock a really big, beautiful, bouncy look. Now, next up is probably the look I am most amazed by with thin wand. And this technique is called texture tongue. So let me spin my beautiful girl here around. And would you believe that these loose, effortless waves were created with the same tool that created these tight, bouncy curls? So for texture tongue, it is a very simple technique, which I love, and the result is so beautiful. It's not only a great look to use behind the chair, it's also a really great technique, once again, that you can show your guest how to do so that they're able to replicate the look from home. Again, her hair's already been prepped with Curly Ever After. And for texture tongue, I'm going to hold my tool vertically. So I'm going to hold it straight up and down. I'm going to do a slight twist, and I'm going to push out and away from the head and then back toward the head. Out and away, back toward, out and away, back toward, and then I'm going to release. I kind of pull slightly at the end and look at that beautiful wave that I'm able to create. The farther down you push away from the head, the more of that return you'll get in the middle. If you don't push too far down, you'll be able to remain straight on the ends, which is a look a lot of people are going for. One more. Now, if you remember, we talked about form and texture earlier when we were talking about stylers. The same still applies with our curve range. And because this is more of a textured or airy look, I'm going to alternate my direction. So with the first one, I wrapped away from me. With this one, I am going to wrap toward me. Same exact technique. Push out, pull in, out, in, release. Kind of pull that in slightly to open up that curl, and you have a really soft wave created with a very narrow-barreled curling wand. One more look with thin wand before I finish up. I'm sure a lot of you do a lot of weddings or formal styling. And if you do, a glam wave is a go-to look. It is something people are looking for. Brides always want that gorgeous glam, super crested wave. And thin wand achieves it in probably one of my favorite ways ever. Let me move this hair that I just dropped down so that you can see how beautiful and deep the crests of every single wave are here. I did not set this. It is simply curled, cooled, and dressed out. So this is such a great tool. If you perform any sort of formal styling services, I would highly, highly recommend having a thin wand in your kit. So I am going to do a few curls here, and then I will dress them out for you so that you can see exactly how to achieve this. So for this formal, glamorous wave, we're going to use form, meaning we are going to curl every curl in the same direction. I'm going to hold my tool vertically, and I am just going to wrap down the strand. I'm going to hold for 3 seconds and release. Look how beautiful that curl is and how quickly I was able to achieve it. Next curl, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Holding my tool vertically, wrap down the strand, curling in the exact same way, and release. You can already see how these curls are lining up perfectly. That's exactly what we want. The more they line up, the better our finished result is going to be. So this is the last one that I will do here. Again, I'm going to release this. I'm going to allow these curls to cool for just a moment. And now I will dress them out so that they can form right into this beautiful wave that I have already created underneath. Now imagine you are styling a bride or a bridesmaid. How amazing is it to be able to achieve this sort of look without having to go in and set the hair? And when you power couple your thin wand with your curly ever after curl hold spray, remember you are doubling the longevity of those curls. So they will last for up to 48 hours so your bride can dance the night away and her hair will still look good the next morning whenever she wakes up. Last little tool I want to share with you. This may be something you will have to special order, but I did want to share it because it's one of my favorites behind the chair, and it's Glide, which is a hot brush. And as a stylist, you may look at this and be like, when would I use a hot brush behind the chair? I'm going to tell you exactly when. So Glide is working at 365, just like the rest of the tools in our portfolio. This tool is perfect for you to recommend to your guests because if they can brush their hair, they can use this tool. But it's also great for you as a prep tool. Whenever we are getting ready to do a color service, a balayage, a highlight, I know I am guilty of it myself. Our guests will come in with that crazy top knot. Wouldn't it be nice to have a tool that you could use to prep the hair so that you have a really beautiful, clean canvas to work on? Glide is exactly that. With this tool, there's 2 layers of bristles. You have your internal bristles, which are deep inside, they don't get hot. And then these external, or they do get hot, excuse me. And then you have your external bristles. So when this is on, these external bristles don't get hot. You're able to lay your hand right on top of the tool and glide it all the way through, or go right up to the root and brush it. This is one of my first recommendations for stylists looking for something to prep hair with. I always recommend a Glide hot brush. So I am almost done. I know I've talked for quite some time. I hope you're all excited about GHD and you all walked away learning a little something new about our brand. I am going to check really quickly to see if there are any comments or questions that I missed in the chat, and then I'll give you a quick little recap of all the tools I talked about, and I will close it out. So let me double check the chat really quickly. Perfect. I do not see any questions. I do see someone saying they definitely prefer this technique. Absolutely. We all have our preferences, and that's what I love about styling, because we can all unleash our creativity and style any way that we wish. So quick little recap before I sign off. Duet Style, the first 2-in-1 hot air styler. Remember, this combines actively heated plates that are working at a low safe temperature in the drying mode and air using a brushless motor that gives us beautiful results that provides no heat damage, which we absolutely love. No sizzle, no steam, no heat damage. You can create multiple styles on all hair types. Once you have dried all of the hair, you have the ability to turn this into shine shot mode, which essentially creates a double-plated GHD styler that you can use just as you would a traditional styler. This tool's been 9 years in development, so if we were going to get it out there, we wanted to make sure that we did it right, and we definitely did with Duet Style. This also comes in white as well. If you prefer white tools, you can do a Duet Style in white, whatever you prefer. Great for you to use behind the chair for those looking for gorgeous, sleek, shiny results that will last for days. Also great for you to recommend to your guests to be able to recreate those beautiful results at home without the risk of any heat damage on their hair. Platinum Plus and Max. So stylers are what GHD started with, and these two are definitely the heroes of the styler portfolio. Platinum Plus features ultrazone technology. Remember that plate temperatures being monitored 250 times a second. It is predictive. It adapts to your styling speed, your section size, your hair type, always keeping that beautiful and consistent temperature of 365 degrees, which is perfect for all hair types to give you those long-lasting results. Max is your wide plate styler. If you're looking to curl with it, you're going to get bigger, bouncier, more voluminous curls, perfect for that sort of faux blowout look. It is 2 inches wide, and the one we recommend for those with long, thick, or curly hair. Your curve range, you have 5 members. You have your classic curl iron, 1-inch barrel, cool tip on the end, heats up in 25 seconds. You have your soft curl iron, 1.25-inch barrel. It's what I used on my hair today. I feel like this sits on my desk at all times, and it's what I use almost every day for my hair. You also have this wand that I talked about. This is your classic wave wand with the oval barrel. Really amazing to give you beautiful, shiny, loose waves. And thin wand, which I did 3 different demonstrations with. 1/2-inch barrel that is over 6 inches long. You can create tight curls. You can create natural looking curls. Great for those with curly hair. Great for those with straight hair. You can create those loose waves, and remember those gorgeous, glamorous waves that I saw somebody in the chat said we called those finger waves when I was in beauty school. We called them finger waves when I was in beauty school too. I believe it's been like 18 years, so it was a little bit ago when I was going through beauty school. And then Helios, which is our beautiful professional dryer. This is going to give you gorgeous, quick blowouts. Not only is it great for you to use behind the chair, but it's also really great for you to recommend to your guests. I hope you're all walking away with a little bit better understanding of why GHD. Remember that every tool in our portfolio is preset to that optimum styling temperature of 365 degrees. If you can't remember the temperature, remember GHD stands for Good Hair Day, and there's 365 days in the year, so you will never ever forget it. That temperature is scientifically proven to give you those long-lasting, beautiful results, but more importantly than that, to keep hair its healthiest. Again, my name is Meredith Kirkland. I am the Senior National Education Manager for GHD. I believe Gino was kind enough to put my social handle in the chat. If you have any questions after this, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here to help and support in any way that I can. We would love to see looks you create behind the chair using the GHD portfolio of tools. If you do create any looks, we ask that you please tag us at our North America pages on Instagram at GHD_North America and on TikTok at GHD_USA. Thank you so much, Salon Republic, again, for the time, for giving me the ability to share a brand that I absolutely love, that I've used for many, many years behind the chair. And I really hope that you all feel a little bit more inspired and excited to create your own good hair days. Thank you.